Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm going to be doing my March wish list for Polish Pickup. In case you don't know, Polish Pickup, or PPU for short, is this monthly pre-order event that takes place on the first weekend of every month. There's always a new theme and a lot of indie brands come together to make their polish contributions or their hand or nail care product contributions. I've only really done these end of year kind of haul videos for my Polish Pickup stuff just because each month I don't really buy a lot, so it's not really worth doing like a haul if it's one or two polishes in my opinion. I just prefer saving them all for like the end of the year, and then that way I can do like my big collages. But a lot of you guys have been interested in seeing a wishlist style video from me, either because you have similar tastes to me or because you enjoy the fact that I am very picky about things. And a lot of the times I can like look at a polish and just be reminded of other polishes that I might have in my collection or just that are more readily available. So yeah, this is only the second video in my series so far, but I'm really excited about it. So I will save more of my thoughts at the end. For now, let's just get into my wish list. Okay, so here is the website for Polish Pickup. The theme for March is Slumber Party. So let's just go straight into the nail polish. So in case you missed my first video, I am going to be reviewing the polishes in these two rows. So I'm just going by chunks, seeing what pops out at me, and then maybe tapping into individual polishes. Immediately, the Alchemy Lacquers does catch my eye, but mainly because it reminds me of Misery is my favorite color from Mooncat. So in case you're interested in that one, just make sure you don't already have the Mooncat polish in your collection. The All Mixed Up Lacquers one looks really cool too. I feel like it reminds me of Pigeon from Ethereal last month. I didn't end up grabbing that one, but maybe if you missed that one, you might want to grab this one. And then the Atomic polish looks really pretty too. It sort of reminds me of Holo Taco's Spirit Fingers maybe, but without the hollow sparkle, at least from this initial photo. Yeah, maybe the base is like a little more neutral and stuff, so not exactly a dupe, I would say, but it still feels familiar in a way. So yeah, I'm not really drawn to anything so far, so let's just keep it moving to this next chunk. And the Vanessa Molina Magical Party shade is definitely catching my eye because those flakies are amazing, but I honestly don't think it's a polish I would wear all too often, so I'm going to skip on that one. And yeah, I am not really drawn to any of these, so let's just keep going. Okay, so for this chunk, I definitely think the Cuticula shade is so gorgeous. As you guys might know, I am such a sucker for a red shimmer or flaky against a purple base. I saw Caitlin swatch this one and was just so blown away, but I am not going to be adding this one to my wish list because I already have quite a few polishes kind of similar to this. Maybe they aren't really flakies, they're more of like a red shimmer. But yeah, this one is just so stunning. I wish I could grab it, but again, already have something like it, so I will be passing on this one. I also am drawn to the Danglefoot one, but it also immediately reminds me of Mooncat's Gates of Hell, which is one of my favorite polishes. I feel like this is a pretty good dupe. So again, if you already have that Mooncat polish, I would maybe double check to see if you really need this Danglefoot one, just in case it was calling your name. So yeah, definitely some pretty polishes here, but not anything that's really grabbing my attention. So let's go on to page 2. Okay, so for page 2, the polish that's immediately standing out to me is this Fancy Gloss one. It is this hot pink to purple thermal, and I'm pretty sure there is another thermal polish that I remember seeing in Caitlin's video. I just don't remember the brand right now. I've never tried Fancy Gloss, and this one definitely is catching my eye. I do like that it has this kind of cobalt blue shimmer in here as well, but I think I kind of like the other thermal that I saw. I think for now I will add it to my wish list, but just to kind of see it compared to the other polish, I don't think I would be grabbing both. So moving on to the next chunk, the Glisten and Glow shade is definitely another super pretty one, but I feel like in a way it reminds me of Mooncat's Mermaid Bait, but like a much more green version. I kind of actually do like it for that reason. Oh, but you know what? I do remember thinking when I saw Caitlin swatch this one, it also sort of gave me vibes of Cirque Polish Polishes Intro Verde from the MXM Tune collection. I think this one might be a little bit darker maybe than that shade. It kind of depends on the swatch photos and the lighting and all of that, so it's hard to tell, but I do remember thinking of Intro Verde when I saw Caitlin swatches, so I won't be getting this one. Ooh, this Jen and Berries is definitely a cute one too. I feel like the colors are really reminding me of Cirque's Huga, where it's like that periwinkle blue kind of base, but then it has this warm peachy orangey red shimmer. This one obviously has these like flakies in here, so it's super sparkly. Actually, because of all of those flakies, it kind of reminds me more of Starly's The Cat's Meow, but a slightly more blue version, I think. Either way, it's a gorgeous polish, but I won't be grabbing that one. So okay, moving on to the next chunk. The first polish that kind of catches my eye is the KB Shimmer one, just because it is a pink reflective, but it looks like it's one of those orchid pinks, which isn't really my favorite shade of pink, so I won't even be looking closely at that one. I think I'll just, you know, admire it from afar. I do kind of want to take a look at this Lumen polish called Besties. I just, first of all, love the name, but I am such a sucker for any kind of warm orangey golden glow against like this aqua teal sort of base color. I think it's just such a pretty contrast. It reminds me of like the sun setting over water. It does look nice in the majority of these photos. I don't really want to knock any of the swatchers specifically. I think it's just a problem maybe with Lumen specifically, where their polishes are just really sheer. And don't get me wrong, I love a good sheer polish. I love jellies, but for some reason this combo isn't really doing it for me. I think I would like it more if it was a little bit more opaque maybe, but I still really like it in theory. So let's just keep going. So this bottom row is definitely really tempting with these pink colors, but not really anything grabbing my eye so much. I mean, the Linby designs I think is really pretty. It looks super glowy, but I did just pick up a couple of Linby polishes and they're pink too, so I'm not really looking to kind of add any others. So let's just move on to page 3 finally. Okay, so here is where we start getting into some trouble because there are a lot of polishes that are kind of catching my eye here. I already know that I am going to get Phoenix Polishes Chibi Chibi, so I'm gonna add that to wishlist, but yeah, I don't even need to spend a lot of time on it. It is just the beautiful, most delicate baby pink with this bright aqua blue shimmer. In a way, it does kind of remind me of Mooncat's A Midsummer's Dream, but I would say that this one has more of a true shimmer kind of finish. A Midsummer's Dream has a little bit more of a slightly pearlescent feel to it, which, don't get me wrong, is still really pretty. But yeah, I just absolutely love this polish. It's also inspired by Sailor Moon, which I am just also in love with, so the vibes are just immaculate. So that was definitely an easy one. I'm also immediately drawn to this Night Owl lacquer called Whispers and Giggles. As you might know, I'm a big fan of any kind of orange shimmer against a purple base, and this one looks really pretty and soft, kind of like on the muted or pastel side. It also shifts to like this yellowy gold and even green in extreme angles, so it is definitely a really gorgeous one, but at the same time, it's not really standing out so much. Like, it's a beautiful shade, I think, but maybe one that I can also admire from afar. So let's just go back, and I do want to look at the Noodles nail polish because I just am a big fan of this brand. Oh, unfortunately, there is only one swatch photo at the moment, so it's kind of hard to get a better feel for it. I do really like the base color though. It's a deep turquoise jelly with these indigo to blue to green shifting flakes, teal hollow glitters, and turquoise matte glitters. So definitely a fun mix, but because of that jelly base, it just kind of blends everything all together. So you just kind of see some pops of iridescent color, but it just looks like a glitter sandwich basically. I think I'm gonna skip on this one for now. And the Paint It Pretty polish, Popcorn and PJs is definitely another one that caught my eye. Oh my gosh, I just love gold shimmers against like this pink sort of base color. I think it is so pretty. It kind of reminds me of like a sunset or something. It is just so beautiful. I also really love Popcorn, so I'm really tempted to grab this one, or at the very least add it to my wish list. So you know what, I'm feeling a little generous, so let's do that. I've never tried Paint It Pretty polish before, so this might be my first one. Then on this bottom row, like I mentioned, Phoenix was the easy add. If I could only get one polish for this whole month, it's probably going to be that one. The Pie Colors Night Terrors is really cool looking too. Also kind of reminds me of Mooncat though, so not anything that I need. So let's keep it moving. Okay, so definitely some pretty options here. The Psyche Minerals Look at Me looks really gorgeous. I don't know if I exactly have a purple reflective polish. The closest one that I have is KB Shimmers of Quartz, but that's a little bit more on the pink side. This one looks like a really true lavender kind of shade, which I think is really pretty, but it's pretty simple at the same time, so I think it's easily dupable. So I won't be adding it to my wish list now, even though I think it's really pretty, just because I want to check KB Shimmer's website first. The Rogue Lacquer is also another beautiful one that kind of gives me Sir Kuga vibes. And okay, this is the one that I was thinking of from Caitlin's video, the Sassy Sauce polish called Pillow Fight. It's another bright hot pink to purple shifting thermal polish with this really pretty bright aqua shimmer, whereas in the Fancy Gloss it was more of a darker kind of cobalt blue shimmer. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like the purple in this thermal isn't as dark as the Fancy Gloss one. So yeah, I am gonna add this one to my wish list because it was the first one that I saw that I really liked, especially from Caitlin's swatches. I know thermals can really be hit or miss, so I'm kind of surprised with myself for wanting to grab at least one of these, but I just love that pink to purple shift, and the blue shimmer on top of that is just such a beautiful bonus. So okay, nothing else is really calling to me from here, so this next chunk, I honestly am kind of feeling the same, where nothing is really getting my attention here that I don't already have. I am a little bit tempted to get the Cuticula top coat because I think that's the Limitless one that Caitlin always talks about, and I definitely always love a good scented top coat. I know that's not for everybody, but I'm a fan. Unfortunately, I have way too many top coats already, so I really don't need this one right now. So okay, we can finally go on to page 4, and there's just one polish. It is a Zombie Claw, and it does look really pretty, so let me just tap in here for a second. Okay, this is beautiful. It's described as a grape base that glows in the dark blue. What? That glows in the dark blue, aurora shimmer, and reflective silvers. Okay, and that's not just me, right? Like that's not written very well. I just had such a hard time reading that, but okay, I don't think I would have ever called this a grape base. I can see it kind of leaning a little bit purple, but it definitely feels very pink leaning to me. Oh, okay, here's the photo of the glow in the dark. So it's like a really strong dark blue. Definitely cool. I'm not super interested in the fact that it glows in the dark. That's just kind of like an extra bonus. Oh, the shade is really pretty, but it kind of, in a way, reminds me of maybe Mooncat's Sand Viper. No, that one is more of like a nudish kind of base color with like a warm rosy sort of shimmer. This feels so familiar though. Like I know I have a polish that's kind of like this already, and even though it is really pretty, I just don't need another one of these, I think. So yeah, I will not be adding this one. And so lastly, before looking at my wish list, I want to check the hand and nail category just because I also love looking at what KB Shimmer has to offer for their scrubs. Okay, this one just looks like it's scented in chocolate, which definitely a yummy scent, but not one that I'm really itching to try. I am kind of tempted to like look into some of these other listings, like the Balm by Dior Couture looks really good. De Balmer Mars morning after breakfast sounds delicious, but I'm not much of a balm person, so I am just not going to even bother and tempt myself with those. So okay, let's just go into my wish list, and I only have 4 polishes here. 2 of them are pretty much identical, where it's the pink to purple shifting thermal with a blue shimmer. One is just brighter than the other, and the shimmers are a little bit different as well. It's really hard to say which one I would rather go with because I do love the darker kind of almost jewel tone color of the Fancy Gloss one. Like, it shifts to a really dark purple, but I think I am drawn a little bit more to the almost like neon kind of pink base of the Sassy Sauce polish. And again, that blue shimmer is just so pretty, but I really am trying to decide if it is worth getting a thermal just because my collection is so big already. It's hard for me to actually wear and enjoy polishes the way I used to, and thermals have a shorter shelf life already, so I really don't think it is going to be worth investing in one of these. As beautiful as it is, I think I would just rather do a gradient with a pink and purple and add a blue shimmer on top. So let me just go ahead and remove these 2 thermals from my wish list, and let me look back at this Paint It Pretty polish because for some reason it is feeling very familiar to me. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Mooncat's Flight of the Monarchs, but I know that this is nowhere near a dupe for that polish. It's a lot more of a like pink leaning kind of base color. I think maybe I'm thinking it might be similar to Red Eyed Lacquer's Asteral, which I had grabbed from HHC last year. I don't remember what month, but I feel like some of these photos do remind me of that polish, so I will have to cross-reference some photos just to see how similar these might be. It's just so hard to say. Like, some of the photos look so much more blown out with the shimmer, where it looks more like Mooncat's Flight of the Monarchs, for example, where you see a lot of that golden shimmer and less of like that pinky base color. I think if it looked like this all the time, I would definitely pick it up, but because it kind of, you know, looks a little bit different, it reminds me more of that Red Eyed Lacquer polish. So yeah, I will keep this on the wish list for now, but this likely will be coming off just because I'm not really trying to dupe myself with this polish, at least. I know, going back to the other one, Phoenix's Chibi Chibi, I'm sure there are other baby pinks with light aqua blue shimmers that I have in my collection, but this is one that I just know it in my gut I would regret skipping, so I'm just not going to do that to myself. So yeah, my final wish list just has 2 polishes right now, but it honestly might come down to just 1. So that wraps up my polish pickup wish list for March. As always, I would love to know what you think of the shades that I'm eyeing. Of course, you have to let me know what is on your wish list so far. I generally liked the theme of this month more than last month's, which was wild animals. I mean, some of those definitely were really fun, but I kind of was surprised to see that I wasn't super drawn to a lot of the shades this month. From the theme alone, I thought maybe the polishes might be a little similar to last year's Dreamscapes theme, which I went a little crazy for that month. I got like 6 polishes. So I was sort of anticipating this one might be a bigger haul month, but I only had like 2 shades that I'm like really interested in. And like I was saying, I might even just grab the one. Even with the Phoenix polish though, I feel like I shouldn't be getting it because it does kind of remind me of Nailed It's Library of Dreams from that Dreamscapes collection. There's just flakies in the Nailed It polish and there's none in Phoenix, but I feel like it's just one of those polishes I still would really regret missing out on. So I would rather just get it, do my little comparison side by side to see them myself. And worst case scenario, if they do end up being too similar, I can always like de-stash it. So yeah, make sure to let me know how you feel about this month's theme, what polishes are getting your attention, what are your must-haves that are not even a question that you're gonna be getting this weekend. I think similar to last month, I will also be posting on my community tab on Friday with like my final order. So that way we can talk about what we ended up ordering and if it was different from what was on our wish list initially. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this wish listing video. If you do, make sure to leave me a like because I'm just having so much fun with this new series and I can't wait to continue it, even if my hauls are like one polish. But make sure to leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.